We have one more person here. We just found out he's here, and we'd like Duncan to come up. Where are you, Duncan? Duncan is actually a caretaker at the reserve. Here he comes. Let's hear it for Duncan.
Okay, well, my first question before I even start is, does anybody have any firearms here?
No firearms.
Absolutely not? Okay, because of course we can't have a mature and sensible discussion if there's the threat of that discussion being at gunpoint.
Yes.
Okay? That's the first thing I want to say. The next thing to say is I want to talk about the 3 R's. I want to talk about the refuge. I want to talk about respect. I've forgotten what the other one is. But you remind me at the end about the third one.
Responsibility.
Responsibility. All right, the first one. I came, after working with the Nature Conservancy in Florida, to the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge in April of 1997. And from that point onwards until January the 2nd at 6 p.m., I've lived and been privileged to live on the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge in buildings at the Malheur Field Station. It's an enormous privilege because not even the refuge personnel are allowed to live at the refuge, but I get to live there. And it's beautiful. If I could just transport you back to my front yard right now, there would be quail, American tree sparrows. There would be a sharp-shinned hawk that's been knocking around for 4 months. It would be peaceful. There would be dark skies. There would be silence at night. The Malheur Refuge is a very special refuge. The refuge system is very special. Of course, it's about public lands. And the refuge at Malheur is big. It's a gem. And it's all embroiled in Western history. And Western history, I've come to understand, it ain't simple. All right? That leads me on to the issue of respect. We all want to say something, and you're getting your voices now, and that's really important. But we have to be respectful. And about the only thing I know is that guns should not be involved. Absolutely not. So, given that, we can agree on that. There might not be a whole lot that we could agree on. I mean, between government personnel, people in Harney County, me, Duncan Everett, Malheur Field Station, non-profit organization. But that's the single most important thing. So my plea is for respect. I mean, respect the Bundys. Respect the Bundys so that they get justice. They get their day in court too. Okay? That's really important. All right? In all of this, we have fun, we remain focused, we remain respectful, and we have a faith that justice will be done. Okay? That's, to me, an integral value. So there's refuge, there's respect. Responsibility. We have a responsibility to call out here and to be heard. And I think actually I want to talk about patience, because the other thing here is, I mean, what do we all want?
Peace.
We want the refuge back, but above, and we want it as soon as possible. But I think we can also agree, no guns, and for God's sake, no violence.
Yes.
Under any conditions. Okay? So, this means we've got to practice a little bit of the third R, which is a P, which is patience. And I have been pushing law enforcement ever since I left the refuge on Sunday, whenever it was, Saturday evening, January the 2nd at 6 p.m. I have been pushing so hard to get back to the field station, to my private residence, to my home, so I can address the birds that have a dependency on my feeding program, so I can deal with the buildings that serve education programs in the summer. I keep on being told, Duncan, it's not safe. I was in Burns on Tuesday, and I was told, I pushed them again, and they said, you know, it's not safe south of Wrights Point. And this is very, very important. You know there's intimidation, etc. going on. It's most unfortunate, implied violence. But through all of this, we have to be patient, all right? And I don't want to prevent you from your 30 minutes of exercise, but I just, you know, make the best of this situation as you can. And remember, as we move towards a goal. I can guarantee you, if anything is for certain, the refuge will be taken back. I'm 99% sure it's going to be done without violence. So what we need to be thinking about now is, what is that refuge going to look like in May and June 2016, 17, 18, 19, and 3019. Okay? Think of the future and get as much joy out of this crazy process as you possibly can.